Hi, welcome to Anna's Inspirational Kitchen, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. So as I've told you many times before, I really have trouble deciding which recipe to share with you because I wish I could just share everything. So I've told you before, if you watched last time I taught, that I love creating my own recipes. And I like to have recipes that are quick and easy because if they're not, most people won't make them. And they have to taste really good too. That's a top thing. And I like to use everyday ingredients that I have. However, today we are going to use soy curls. And I purchased these soy curls from Amazon, but you can also buy them on the Butler website. I haven't found them in the store yet, but I buy them at least 6 bags at a time and always have them on hand because they make really good sloppy joes, tacos, all kinds of things. But what I wanted to create for you, actually I created this back in November as a test for Thanksgiving, and then I made it on Thanksgiving because it was so good. So I named it my holiday roast, and that's what we're gonna make today. What I was going for was years ago when we used to eat meat, we used to make a roast, and I don't know if some of you remember, you would buy the Lipton dip, French onion dip mix, and you would shake it in a bag with all your vegetables and put them around the roast. And I always remember that tasted good. Not that I remember the meat tasted good because I would never go back to eating that. But so that was my creation to try to come up with something that was similar to that. So when you have soy curls, you need to dehydrate them in a little water first. So I've already done that to save time, and this is what they look like. And I don't want them that big. So what we're gonna do is put them in the food processor. This is a whole bag that we're using in our holiday roast. And I'm gonna shred them up. Usually most of the time on things I make, I do, like for tacos or sloppy joes, I do shred them so that they're a finer texture. Okay, so we've got that. And let me wipe my fingers off. And yeah, we got some yummy food. This was delicious for Thanksgiving, but it would also make a great recipe for Christmas. And I like my recipes for holidays, especially or birthdays or anniversaries, anything like that. I like them to be recipes that other people that don't eat vegan or plant-based, outside people that eat meat and dairy still will still like the food. You don't even have to tell them that it's healthy food because they won't know the difference. So that's what I like my recipes to be. We're gonna pulse it a couple times. And you don't want to over pulse it where it gets mushy. You still want like some big chunks in there. And I think that's going to be it. So you can see now, if you look at it, the difference in the texture. So it's a little finer. Okay, so we're just going to dump it all in this bowl here. Actually, I'm gonna put it, whoops, oh shoot, there went my flax egg. We're gonna put 2 flax eggs in here. Whoop, now I gotta scrape it up there. 2 flax eggs. So flax eggs, you can either use flax seeds and grind them up, or you can use flaxseed meal. And what you do is you use 1 tablespoon of flax seeds to 3 tablespoons water. And I use warm water, stir it up and let it sit for just a couple minutes, and it will thicken up, kind of like this in here, kind of like jelly. So in this recipe, and the recipes will be on the website, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down today. 2 flax seeds, and we're gonna put the soy curls that we shredded in there. And then we're gonna put our seasonings in. So we have got here, we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of this McCorwick onion powder, and I like that because it's got a little parsley in it and some green onion. So that's 1 tablespoon. And then we're going to use 1 teaspoon of celery salt and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Okay. And then we are going to mix that all in. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of the no chicken broth. Now this Imagine is the only company I've ever found that makes the no chicken broth, and it's low sodium. And I buy this at Sprouts or Whole Foods. And I use this a lot. I use it in a gravy that I make, and I use it quite a bit. It has a really good flavor. So what we're going to do is also add 3/4 cups of breadcrumbs. You can buy those anywhere, but some of them you have to be careful. I've noticed that some do have dairy in them. So this one from Trader Joe's, the organic breadcrumbs, is a good one. It doesn't have dairy. So this is going to be 3/4 cup. And then we're going to add our broth, and that's all that goes into the roast. Okay, so we've got the 1/2 cup of no chicken broth. And then usually what I like to do, my hands are clean, I wash them, is I like to get in there with my hands and mix it around so everything sticks together real good. So I'm going to get my dish, which is a 9 by 13 dish, and I'm going to, let's see, move it up there. Just get in here and mix it all together real good. So you see how quick and easy that is, that you can throw a meal together fast, that tastes good, that's healthy. I know I talk to so many friends and family, and they won't cook or make things if they're not quick and easy. Okay, so it's all mixed together. Now you're going to watch the magic happen. It's going to turn into a roast. So you have to use your hands to put it all together. Okay. So I just kind of form it to make it look like it's a roast. Make it stick, it sticks together really good. Okay, let me move this bowl out of the way here. Give me a little more working room. Trust me, you have to make this, it is so good. When I made it, my husband took some in his lunch, and 2 of the ladies in the office are vegan, and he let them try some, and she said, I have to have that recipe. So she made it. The next time he delivered at their company, she said, oh, I loved your wife's recipe. And she said that her husband, who is a meat eater, makes carne asada burritos to go sell. And he tried it when she made it, and he loved it so much that he said he was going to make it and put it in his burritos to sell. So that's how good it was. So you have to make this and try it. So next we've got the roast ready, and I like to put my vegetables all around the side. So I've already chopped up some potatoes and I like to use the heirloom carrots because they're just pretty when you get the different colors in there. So the seasoning, you put it in a bag, a gallon-sized bag, so that you can put the veggies in there and shake them around. So in this we have the 1/2 cup of minced onions, and we have a teaspoon garlic powder, a teaspoon of my favorite, the McCorwick onion powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of onion salt from Trader Joe's. And that's it for the seasonings. But now what we're going to do is use another half a cup of the broth and put it in with the seasonings so it moistens it so that it will stick to the carrots and potatoes. I don't peel the potatoes and I don't peel the carrots. I don't even, whoop, that was a little bit too much. Let's see, we'll pour some out. I was going for a cup and all I need is a half a cup there. So what I was saying is, even if I make mashed potatoes, I don't peel my potatoes because that's where all the healthy good stuff is in the skin. So I didn't peel the potatoes or the carrots. So I put these seasonings all in here earlier to save time. So I shook it around and mixed it up. And then I'm just going to pour the half a cup of broth and shake it up. And then I'm going to grab some of my diced potatoes and heirloom carrots and throw those in. It's hard to know how many will fit in there, so usually I chop too many. But I always figure it's better to have too much than not enough, right? And so I'll just put them in the refrigerator and save them for another dinner or something else that I make. So to me, that might be about enough. The problem is if you use too many, then you don't get enough seasoning on them. So, okay. So then what you're going to do is just shake it real good, and the seasonings, the minced onion seasoning, will stick to everything because of the broth, how it's wet. So you can see it's already coating them. I don't know if any of you remember that French onion soup mix that you used to do roast and veggies, but this tastes a lot like it, and that was what the flavor I was going for. So I think that's about good. And then we're going to just take it and just spread it around. So you can see all of the seasoning stuck real good. And what I like about it is that it's so pretty with all the colors. It makes a really good showpiece if you're having company. I think that presentation is a really, really big part of our eating. I think that, you know, our food should look pretty and look nice. Okay, that looks pretty good. See all the pretty colors, the purple and the orange, and all of that is nice. Okay, now what we're going to do next is add some pecans for a little bit of crunch. So I like to just, you know, not put too many in, but just, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so instead of just throwing them in there, I always just go so they're kind of spaced out and even, and they look presentable and nice. But I know if you wanted, you could just throw them in there, but again, I'm about how things look too. So you could put however many you want in. It just adds a nice look and a nice little crunch to it when you cook it. So I'm going to put a few more. And then what I did, again, to make it look special, is before, when I cut the carrots, I have to put them aside so I don't forget any and chop them up. So I'm going to make some pretty flowers in the top. So you could put them wherever you want them and just push them so they stay in. However, you know, just be an artist and create. Let's see, maybe here. Maybe over here. And then what I do is I take the pecans and I make a flower. Just push them around. And I went through the pecans earlier to pick out some that were not broken pieces so that it would look nice. You have to kind of push them in to get them to stay. And I like to put the little pointed edge out. That looks good. It's looking very good. Anyway, it's a fun dish to make when you're having company. They really are wowed by it. They're like, ooh. They might even think that you catered it and didn't make it yourself. Okay. We'll put a couple more over there so it looks balanced. Push them in. And I'm going to put one more right here. And there you have it. Isn't that pretty? So you do cover it with foil. And what we're going to do is we're going to bake it at 375 for about 60 minutes. Your main thing is just to test that, stick a fork in, make sure that your potatoes and carrots are done. This will be done, the roast. And then I'm going to bake it at 375 for about 60 minutes with the foil on. Then I'm going to take the foil off and bake it for another 15 minutes, just so it kind of browns. So that's it. Cover it with foil, bake it, take the foil off, 15 minutes. And there you have quick, easy, delicious tasting holiday roast, but you could have it all year long. And you've got your healthy vegetables. So that's it. And I'm going to transition now to dessert. So just give me a second here and we will start on dessert. Welcome back, everybody. So I wanted to give you a healthy recipe for a dessert. I know since we started eating healthy, I haven't really had any pecan pie, and I was really craving it. But all of the recipes I would look up, they would have like a cup of brown sugar and have just, you know, butter and things like that. So I was trying to create something that tasted as yummy as a pecan pie, but didn't have the unhealthy things. So I experimented and I came up with this recipe, and I call it Taste Testers. I had it in the oven and I called my sister and I said, you want to be a taste tester for my pecan pie? It's in the oven. She said, I'll be right over. So I got the okay from my husband and my sister that it tasted really good. And I made it for Thanksgiving and everyone loved it. And again, it is quick and easy. So I do buy the pie crust instead of making my own because that makes it a little faster. You just have to read your ingredients and make sure it's a crust that doesn't have any dairy in it. Marie Collander's crusts are pretty good. And then what I do is break up the pecans and add them to the bottom of the dish. And now we're going to make the filling. So I just put my, let's see, did I put it away? It's a cup. Yeah, so out of the coconut cream, I'm going to just use a cup of it. And so that's going to leave me a little bit left, and you can just save it and use that for another recipe or put it in a banana smoothie or something like that. So it's a cup of the coconut cream. That's going to make it really creamy. And then I did take some raw whole cashews and I soaked those in some boiling water. I boiled it, turned it off, and then put the cashews and soaked them. They say you don't have to do that if you have a really good blender like a Vitamix, but I still like to do that when I want something to be real creamy. So this is a cup of cashews, and again the recipe will be posted for you. And then we're going to add a half a cup of maple syrup. And then we've got 3/4 cups, which I already chopped and measured up ahead of time to save time. So you can buy pitted dates at Trader Joe's that are already pitted, but I still like to chop them to make sure that they're, one didn't slip in with a pit in it. So I always go through and chop them up. So we put that in. And then the only other thing is actually 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. So just a few ingredients. It's going to make it really creamy, the filling, and quick and easy again. So I just like to blend it long enough to make it real, so the dates are, fine and everything is real creamy. And then, where did my thingy jingy go? I'll use a different one. Oh, there it is, right in front of my eyes. Okay, so that's it. Quick, easy, simple, everyday ingredients that I always have on hand to make healthy desserts. And then you're going to just put it on top of the chopped pecans. And again, I guarantee if you make this for other people that are used to regular pecan pies, I had someone tell me they like it better than a regular pecan pie because it's not as sweet. It's sweet, but not too sweet. So these are good. This isn't something that you would eat. The coconut cream does have some fat in it. It's not something you're going to make and eat every week. It's something that's special for special holidays and birthdays and Thanksgiving, Christmas, just special times. And that's that. Other than what we're going to do is what I like to do. Now again, you could just throw your pecans on, but this is the longest part of the whole recipe. What I like to do is, there's one already, is I go around and I make a design. So it looks really, again, pretty and presentable. I think food tastes better if it looks really good. So my husband's watched me do this before and he's like, Guy, that takes so long. I'll go around the whole pie and make a beautiful design. So I didn't want to spend the time doing that. I wanted you to see how beautiful it looks because a lot of people think that I bought it, that I didn't make it. So I baked a pie earlier today so I could show you what it looks like already with the design. So I went all around with pecans on top and then I baked it. And you're going to bake it at 375 for about 55 minutes, just until your filling, thickens up. Isn't that pretty? And it tastes really, really good. Trust me, you need to make these recipes. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I hope that you enjoy these delicious tasting recipes.